My personal mission statement, I don't know that I have one directly, but I do live by, in business, a certain mantra, and I always say it to everybody, like, always be turning stones. Look under every stone, basically, right? So when an opportunity presents itself, even if you predetermine that it's not for you, it's always worthwhile to look.
8 or 9 years ago, a friend of mine, Stacy Waterman, who owns DMR Booking, which is a production company here in town, we went out to the Borodino Grange Hall, which is a little old church in a little tiny town on the far side of Skaneateles, to see some friends of ours play. And it was my first experience in a listening room venue, which is a really powerful experience if you've never done it. The sound is pristine and the room is pin drop quiet. And the artists are telling stories as much as they're singing. And it was such a powerful experience that I just thought, wow, that would be super cool if there was something like that in town that people could come to regularly, you know.
My personal mission statement is to create a more connected community by bringing people together to address food insecurity and inspire their hearts and minds to share their talents and resources to impact children's lives for a better, more successful future.
We got to where we are doing what we're doing here in Syracuse over the last 12 years started actually with an encounter we had with an individual holding a cardboard sign at an off-ramp. I seen him standing there and just felt that he was invisible and I needed to tell him he wasn't, and I went and got him lunch and had this wonderful conversation with him on an off-ramp for about 20 minutes where he started to unpack his life story to me, and I forgot that I was on an off-ramp. And I kind of, after this 20 minutes, I kind of come to and like I realized I'm on the corner here with traffic all around and my life was impacted. Even though I did give him something happened to me. And when I went home, I told Leigh-Ann, I know what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to find these folks and tell them they're not invisible and help them.
Rise Adaptive Design is a program that's existed in the community here since about 2016. Started as a volunteer effort by a bunch of us in the community from all different backgrounds, recognizing that there was a need for individuals with disabilities getting the proper equipment they needed in their lives, and that there was a lack of areas or possibilities for them to get that equipment.
Yeah, so the mission of On My Team 16 is to comfort and support pediatric oncology patients, families, and caregivers all through athletics. So we started this organization when my younger brother was diagnosed with leukemia, and he was a college or a high school athlete. He also played in college at Leone. But just being able to use your athletic talent and fundraise for kids going through treatment was our goal of the mission or the organization.
So at Summit, we believe that the sky is your limit. So I really think that the best thing you can do is really shoot for any goal that you might have. No matter what age you are, no matter what career you've been in, you can do essentially anything that you put your mind to. I opened up this office about 2 years ago during COVID, so that was a little scary. But the team I have at Summit is so helpful and so encouraging. And without the help I've had here and the help in the community, I really wouldn't have seen the success I have. So I feel like Syracuse overall is a great place to broaden your horizons and find a good place to grow a business.
So the inspiration behind Coffee Burger was being in restaurants my whole life. I've always made food that I didn't really want to eat. I've always been more of a simple kind of person. I go home and make something simple, something I grew up eating. And burgers is something that's everyone's familiar with. It's accessible to a broad range of people. But using my background, I wanted to create something that was familiar, but had an element of surprise to it. Something, elements that you wouldn't typically find in a burger. So we draw inspiration from across the Middle East, a lot of cool flavors and techniques in there. So the idea is to create an experience that's unique yet familiar, something that people will be comfortable, and something you can't really find in Syracuse right now.
What led me to today starts when I was very young. I started singing when I was 5 years old, so there was always those seeds that were planted. When I got older, it was funny because I just found the article not too long ago. I wanted to be a professional wrestler when I was in high school, and I wasn't a very good student in high school. I graduated on time, took some extra going to school, but music was always there. Even when I played football, I still was in chorus and stuff like that. So it started early, and then when I got older and went to school for music, I kind of got stuck in the old get the jobs and do this part-time. And then one day I just said, if I'm going to do this, it has to be done now. And I quit everything else and just started doing it full-time. But it all started, when I was real young, because that fire has to be in your body, because I stopped working completely a regular day job to do this, and thankfully almost 10 years later I have more work than I know what to do with, which is I'm so grateful for.
Willingness to consistently adapt and create is the way that we kind of got here, and working and collaborating with others is the way that Wildflowers came to be. But the quick version is, in 2016, by myself, I created a pop-up called the Infinite Pop on South Warren Street. That small little pop-up grew to Wildflowers and then McCarthy Mercantile. So just by being a concerned citizen and a small business owner, co-owner, I kind of had an invested interest in downtown and Syracuse in particular, and willingness to consistently adapt and create is the way that we kind of got here, and working and collaborating with others is the way that Wildflowers came to be. But the